Hey everybody, Dogbird here to talk about the upcoming Rogue Scourge. Rogue's stats look decent. We'll have to see how she actually plays. But in order to get her, you of course have to get through the Scourge. And I know we've all been thinking about the Young Avengers because of nodes 5 and 10. But now, thanks to the data mine, after the patch, we know what the other nodes look like. And this is going to really stress the importance of having a wider roster. And let's take a look at who we could possibly use in these nodes. We'll start off with the first two nodes. It's going to be City this time. So you have to think about who you can use for City. Let's take a look at that in game. And as you can see out here, I have my roster filtered to City. Of course, Young Avengers. We have two Young Avengers who are City. That is Ms. Marvel and Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl I highly recommend for this Scourge. I think she's going to be very important in nodes 5 and 10. And she could be very important inside these two City nodes as well. Being an excellent healer, can clear heal block, can apply heal block as well. As you can see, I've already taken my Squirrel Girl up to Gear 16. I do highly recommend that for DD5, because the city nodes there are absolute trash. Some other characters to think about, don't forget Shang-Chi is city. You might want to bring him in too. Of course, we're going to have Cloak and Dagger, as long as also all the Web Warriors, although we know how they perform outside of raids is not that great. Another character I highly recommend, who I think is going to be a dark horse that is going to become a real star, is Jessica Jones. You might want to build your Jessica Jones. Her giving out energy, I think A-Force in general is going to be good. And don't forget, Jessica Jones, Spider-Woman, Nika Monroe are all city characters, and they're all A-Force characters. You can get some double nodes out of these. You can get not only nodes 5 and 10, you can also use them in nodes 1 and 2, and they are very good together. The linchpin being Jessica Jones, of course, to give them that energy. Another team comp you might want to think about with the A-Force then would be to bring like Squirrel Girl and Shang-Chi, or even Ghost Spider to spread debuffs. But one comp I was thinking about possibly trying, of course, Squirrel Girl would be the number one. Imagine bringing her with Cloak and Dagger to put out debuffs, Jessica Jones to help get some energy out there, and Doc Ock then. Imagine this. You could then use Doc Ock to extend the debuffs from Cloak and Dagger, or you could bring Ghost Spider if you have her built, which you probably do. Due to the first Scourge, you could use her to help spread those debuffs from Cloak and Dagger around as well. Of course, the other choice would be drop Jessica Jones, bring Ghost Spider and Doc Ock. That way you could spread the bus and extend the bus with Doc Ock. Do not underestimate Doc Ock. Plus, you also get Shocker. That is an extra character who can take a hit, which, if you're doing Scourges, that could be quite important. I don't think Web Warriors as a full team would be that great in there. Scarlet Spider is just not a very good healer outside of raids. I forgot Miles is also a young Avenger, so he would get us to get some double duty here too. One thing you might want to look at if you wanted to do more of a Spider-Verse type centric team, don't forget Hero Spider-Verse do work well together thanks to Symbiote Spider-Man. You could do Symbiote Spider-Man, Anti-Venom, and then take like Spider-Man, Ghost Spider, and probably Miles, and make a little team up there. That could be a good sack team. Of course, you also have the full symbiotes. If you have them built up, if you're an older player like me, you probably do. They could be good in this node if there's some summons there they can kill quickly. We don't know yet. There are Scourges about summons characters, so that might be something they might do well in these city nodes. They might be a good sack team, just to get some ultimates used up. We have a lot of different characters we can use. That's the point. Of course, we also have the Dark Hunters are out here. If you have built them up, you can use some of those Dark Hunters. Morbius is okay. You got Ghost Rider. If you have those built up, you might want to use those. You might want to bring a Punisher in to help boost some damage, or whatever team you're using. Again, lots of choices here. We got a couple heroes. We got some heroes for hire, of course. If you built them up too, again, it could be a good sack team. They're not very good outside of war. But those are just some of the things to think about. Now let's take a look at the next one in our list. So up next is the one that everybody's starting to get worried about, nodes 3 and 4, and that is Mutant. But I think this could be an interesting one, and maybe not as difficult as you think. Let's take a look in-game. So when we're talking about Mutant, this is any Mutant character, doesn't matter what affiliation is. We have quite a few Mutants in the game, obviously. Including, don't forget, after you unlock Rogue, you can use Rogue inside of this then. Because don't forget, you only need to really beat difficulty 5, you'll unlock Rogue, build her up really quick, maybe bring her in for some harder Scourges, difficulty 6 and so on. And you're probably going to want to build her anyway. Other good characters, of course, if you have Madeline Pryor actually built, she's a very good character. Magic and the whole Uncanny team could be like a good one-node solution. They don't really have any sustain. We could probably do something with Storm and Beast and Magic and all them. Do some kind of hybrid team. I don't see much use for the X-Force or Namor or Magneto. Colossus would be part of that. Of course, we have Gambit if you have him, which everybody should by now. Multiman and Polaris, don't see much use of them. We could see the Dad Bros combination coming into play with them, giving themselves buffs into each other. We also have X-Force. If you have X-Force built up, it could be a good, not X-Force, Weapon X, sorry. Weapon X could be like a good sack team, or we can break it up a little bit more. We're missing Lady Deathstrike on there, obviously, but of course, like one of the stars is going to probably be Emma, and I think another big star is going to be Beast. You want him built up, that's for sure. He'll probably be our main healer. But let's not forget, we also have Mr. Sinister. He makes a very good healer too. Plus, you're getting clones out of him. And of course, the other big stars would probably be Omega Red and Jubilee. I think we could see, of course, our Axemen will probably be the go-to team that everybody's going to go to, but don't dismiss hybrids. I use a hybrid in 2.3 where it consists of Omega Red, Jubilee, Emma Frost, Iceman, and Beast. That team could be used again too, or we could add somebody else in, like a Mr. Sinister for some more healing. We'll have to see how these nodes are if we really want to use the full Axemen. You could also replace Kitty Pryde with Omega Red to make the Axemen better as well. And don't dismiss Silver Samurai, he can be quite good as well on his own. Of course, Phoenix has the problem of dying, so it might be one of those things we just use to clean up a node or something just to get us out of there and get us onto the next node. Of course, and then after this we have the Young Avengers and A-Force. I would say build both A-Force and Young Avengers. Give yourself as many options. Maybe you have a Black Bolt and Yo-Yo built up as well. Give yourself options for nodes 5 and 10. You never know what they're going to look like. You never know if you need sack teams. You don't know if you need multiple teams just to clean things up as well. So let's take a look at the nodes 6 and 7, I believe. So nodes 6 and 7 are just villain. These should be pretty easy to do. It's just a general villain tag. There's lots and lots of characters and lots of good characters as well. Just want to watch who we use because we have to think about still of who we're going to need in Cosmic Mystic, which will be after nodes 6 and 7. And so looking in game here is the villain roster. We have tons of options. Lady Deathstrike, Doctor Doom, Omega Red, Doctor Octopus, of course the big one, Morgan Le Fay, absolutely is probably going to be a must. Emma Frost, Nebula's out here, Strange Heartless. Dormammu, I think, is going to be very important in the Cosmic Mystics. You may want to use him, you may not want to use him in these villain nodes, just because maybe you want him at full health for when you go to Cosmic Mystic. You can pair up Agatha, obviously. You can even bring Minerva if you need a little bit of insurance policy. We have Ultron. We got the Black Order out here. I mean, we have tons of options. These are not going to be hard, I don't think. But they could surprise us with this, but we never know. But lots of good villains to choose from. Let's go and take a look at Cosmic Mystics, as we're already talking about that. So obviously with Cosmic Mystic, the first thing that comes to mind are the Eternals. They're obviously going to be the necessary team. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Now, who to pair up with them doesn't matter. You might want to use Thanos as an energy battery. He does make a very good energy battery. If you have Dormammu, I think he could be incredibly valuable here. Just given reses. Other characters like Deathpool would be good. Don't forget Adam Warlock is quite good on his own. He does have to be killed twice in order to be taken out. And of course Silver Surfer, a great character. I wouldn't use Doctor Strange Heartless unless I'm using Thanos to power him. His cooldowns are a bit on the long side. You could also pair Thanos up with Infinity Ball if you still want to use him. We also have Hela. But best options are obviously going to be the Eternals, Dormammu, and then it's going to be your choice. Do you want to use Deathpool? Do you want the energy battery and then bring Strange Heartless in? Do you just want to bring Surfer in for an ability block, or do you want to bring Adam Warlock, who also has an ability block? Let's not forget about that, and he has that double stun. Lots of good choices. You should be able to get through this no problem. If you're bringing Thanos, you probably want to make him a healer, just to help heal up the team and give you some more sustain. Ebony Maw could also help with that. Again, you might want to switch characters in and out, depending on how these nodes end up looking. Which will then bring you, of course, this brings us to Node 10. Obviously, that's Young Avengers, Inhumans, A-Force, depending on who you have left at this point to get through it. And I'm sure hybrid teams will come out as we need to. One thing to note, America Chavez is Mystic Cosmic. If you have built her up, that would be good too. So with all this said, I'd like to know who you think you're going to be using inside these Scourges. And it's quite obvious that our rosters need to be wider. In order to complete these Scourges, we can't just focus on nodes 5 and 10. You're going to definitely have to build things out to go along with that. So, until next time, everybody.